Hello everyone, this is Lovely Austin here.
And I'm Chauncey Morris Jr. Welcome to the Journey to Becoming Whole podcast.
We are super excited that you are here with us today. You can be anywhere else, but you chose us. So we really appreciate you stopping in. Today we're actually going to start with something that everyone has battled with, I feel, and that is self-esteem.
And we thought it'd be appropriate to start with a title, and we're going to use the title, The Quiet Voice Inside.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about it. Self-esteem. Has that been something that you ever dealt with in life?
Consistently.
Wow.
At different moments, at different stages, from childhood, adolescence, to my early adult age, and coming to me becoming a mature man. I've dealt with it on multiple levels.
Wow. For me, there's some areas that's actually really embarrassing for me, for me to talk about, but I do want to talk about it because I feel like people can relate. Yeah. So I'm just going to get right into it. Right now, this is something that we are here to do this podcast because we want to be vulnerable.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And we want to just be, open and transparent with people to let them know what our journey has been. We both have experienced, traumas, going through healing and things like that. So in the area of self-esteem, one of the things that I dealt with was the shape of my body.
Yes.
Believe it or not. Yeah. Like the shape of my body. So let's go back to this. When I was, younger, my mom has she has what is called the Coke bottle figure. The small waist, the big hips, the big butt, all that. Well, me and my sister, we did not. We did not take after our mom on that area. Mm-hmm. Now, my sister, she has a beautiful figure. I do not. And I'm not going to say I don't necessarily, but one of the things in the area of self-esteem is I've never had a small waist, meaning one that went in like this and back out. Like hips, no, don't have hips, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And all the things. So the curve, I'm not curvy, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm saying that to say this. 2 of my longest standing relationships, my figure was an issue. And yeah, I was like, oh wow. And I was with these people for well over a year before it became apparent to me. So It wasn't something that they were obvious and just was outright about. And they would always say, you're pretty and stuff like that. Or even, oh, I like your butt. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to, outward appearance. But in one of my relationships, I was getting dressed. So I was in the mirror and he was behind me, like laying on the bed. And I caught him looking at my body in a way that was like he was almost disgusted, or just he had a look on his face like, and I saw it. And I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, oh, nothing, and all that. When I tell you how bad that hurt me, mm-hmm. And it was funny because I was not his normal though. I was not his type. He really liked skinny girls, and I was not. I ain't never been skinny, muscular, toned and all that, but skinny was never a description for me. When that happened, that really messed with me. And honestly, the truth is, it confirmed what I really felt on the inside of myself about my own body. So it was like, okay, yeah, you're right. You are right in how you feel. Your body's not attractive. Yeah. So it fed into that negative right? And then the next long-standing actually the relationship right after that one, you know, of course there was some years in the middle of that. I had we kind of got, it wasn't necessarily an argument, but it was like a confrontation, I guess you would say. Voices wasn't raised and stuff like that, but I said something that made him kind of not feel the best. So his rebuttal was, I wish I was as attracted to your body as you are attracted to mine. Verbatim, like, quote unquote, is what he said. And I was like, wow, what? You know? He was like, oh, I mean, no, you're beautiful and everything, and your butt, I love your butt, it's nice. I mean, with the butt thing, it was like, but you know, I mean, I see how you look at my body, and you like, oh, you're so handsome, and he was like, I wish I felt that way about your body. And I was like, oh, another gut punch, like right after each other. Relationship, that one, the first one was over 3 years, the second one was over 2 years. And I'm like, part of me was like, why did y'all even choose me? If why? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know, but I will be honest in saying that I have gotten over a lot of that at this point. But it took me through there. I'm not even gonna lie. I had to that really shot my self-esteem real bad. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, oh my God. But coming back from that, I really had to just own, like, there's things about your body that you can help. If you're a little overweight, you can lose weight. You do the things to help you lose weight, exercise, the whole 9 yards. But the way your body is shaped, you don't have control over that. So I had to keep telling myself, I don't have control over that. So what are you going to do? And then honestly, age, just getting older, and as you get older, you don't seem to care about things as much as you used to when you were younger. Mm-hmm. Both of those things, honestly, helped me get past that point. And I'm just gonna be honest, and I'm not 100%. I'm about 85% on that. I ain't gonna lie, you know. So that's really one of the biggest self-esteem issues that I dealt with growing up and up into adulthood, and I'm 50 years old now. Yeah.
It's very, very, your example alone is very loaded for me because of everything that I've had to study, the experiences that I've had with myself and others, and also because of the job I am as a pastor and as a counselor. You said a lot of things that hit me because I can see the index, which the difference between you experiencing your self-esteem and then learning how to deal and grow past them, and then be able to have the strength to help someone else. So when you're talking, as you were talking and sharing your own personal experience, I was hearing a lot of things because I want to talk about the root. So some way we want to get to that point. I want to start by first sharing my laundry list of self-esteem issues.
Wow.
Because I think it's important that you're sharing from a feminine point of view, but it still has the same effects in being a masculine entity as well, because men suffer with self-esteem issues equally to women. The world will make it seem like it's more of a woman emotional thing. It's more about the mentality. It's the mental that's being disturbed. So I'm comfortable enough to say that some of the things that I suffered with my self-esteem was I was my parents' darkest child. My dark skin, I got ridiculed and picked on for, it was easy for the kids to say, call me Blackie and all of that. I was also the short kid in the class, and I grew to be the fat kid in the class. So I had And also because I never played any sports. My dad didn't show me how to play anything.
Wow.
When I got into school age, I was non-athletic. I couldn't play football, basketball. I didn't know how to run properly. I knew how to play with trucks. That was where my love and my imagination was, but I didn't know that peer pressure would expose the lack of development in me. And those developments that are necessary comes from having a structure and an environment where it creates your ability to build esteem.
Wow.
But when you come into a situation and you don't have it, you're already creating an inadequate lifestyle on your journey to becoming who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's not always the thing. It's always what we think about a thing. So for me, I had to go back into my roots and question, how could kids hurt me by calling me black? That was a root, and the root was I was never told that black was beautiful. So the ridicule fueled my inadequacy to know that I was beautiful because I was black. So that start, because children aren't born racist, and they aren't born to criticize and be critical. If you put kids, babies and little toddlers, they want to play with each other and they don't care what color you are. Even if you are a child with one arm, they play with you. If you're green, they play. If you are the sick kid so the separation and the mentality is taught from their environment.
Behavior.
So the behaviors affect the mentality.
Right.
So into the roots of why we have low self-esteem, one of the reasons why is we learn inadequacy before we learn the reality of the truth that makes us complete and makes us whole.
Yeah.
And so we need adults to tell us, hey, you're so beautiful, you're my princess. You know, we don't know that, as the Bible says, we are beautifully and wonderfully made. We don't. That's not our truth. So number two is some of our self-esteem that we have, even if it's good, is hollow because it's based upon what someone else said. So we aren't able to develop a self-confidence. We were talking about that, me and my wife, coming up the road this morning, as a matter of fact, that you aren't confident because you haven't established confidence with yourself. So the lack thereof, because you should know you're beautiful before someone else have to tell you. That way that you're not competing with what you are aware of. What I mean is, little girls are taught that they are who they are by the approval of a man. And that's already a deepening root problem, because your beauty isn't based upon everyone else's opinion.
Right.
Our characters are sometimes built and become inadequate based upon what's around us and what's outside of us. I was lost because it's not just what I believe about myself, it's also what I didn't know.
Right. So should it start with parents then?
Parents are so important in our personal development. And not only our parents, but the supporting cast of people in our village to help shape us and help guide us in the right directions from within. I'm just talking about from within. I'm not even talking about career assignments. And no, we aren't raised to believe we're beautiful.
We are not.
We're not raised to embrace what is perfect about us. We're almost engulfed and ingrained to think that we are always imperfect of something. It's always something we got to work towards. When in actuality, when we were born, there were things that were perfect about us. We were assigned. We have gifts.
Yeah.
Gifts that are perfect. When we are training, we're exercising our consciousness to the gift that's already perfect in us.
Wow.
I needed that information just to become a 50-year-old secure man in this world. Not black, white, yellow, green, but just a man living in this world. I had to start grabbing concrete truth I never lived before.
When did you know, like, when was that apparent to you? Like, that you needed to kind of, I guess, heal in that area, change that about yourself? Like, when did you say, okay, I gotta work on this part of my life?
39. The age of 39.
Wow.
The age
must
of
have been significant if you knew the age exactly.
Well, at the age of 39, I was taking significant losses in my life.
Okay, yeah.
That we're not going to go into, because we're going to save that for other programs. But my losses were so significant that my insides was crying out to me. And self-esteem is engulfed with our losses. How can I say that? Because our self-esteem is built on our successes and our accomplishments. So if one is true, the opposite is true too. So in the midst of a sea of losses and disappointments and deaths and, things that greatly impact me, who's the bystander in all these things? Me. So at the age of 39, one of the harshest truths that my self-esteem revealed is, I don't love me.
Ooh.
And that was one of the harshest truths I've ever had to deal with. See, our esteem is built upon how we view ourselves.
Very true. Wow.
That's why I say I understand your feelings about your body, because there's falsehoods that teach us that the way we look, it determines the quality of who we are. And that's not true. You are who you are. In a sense, you are who you are from the inside coming out instead of reverse. But we are surrounded and we are in environments where you are valued by the way that you look. But that can change. It can change.
Yeah, that is definitely an area that we can change in. But what are your thoughts on how exactly to, once we realize that is an issue, because that in and of itself is a part of the process. We have to realize that, okay, this is something that I'm actually dealing with. And that I don't like about myself, that I do want to change. What is there any advice that you can give, or even examples that you can give in your own personal life on how you can change your thought process from all the negative to now the positive? Anything that you can say to yourself, or any thoughts on that?
Well, I want to first, I have an equation, right, in my head. I've been using this with a lot of people for some time now. Your actions are based upon how you feel. How you feel is based upon how you think. That's the way it works. So what you think about yourself is what determines how you feel in your heart. And however you feel in your heart are based upon that thought. That's the actions that you actually facilitate. So what people try to do is change the actions, but the emotion is still there because your mind haven't changed. So our greatest advantage to dealing and attacking our self-esteem, which when we use the title of our podcast to talk about the inner voice, the quiet voice, because we are listening to something inside.
Right.
We are tuned in to something that's telling us something, and we're living like it's the truth. So the focal point is I have to change my mind. I have to, now I want to make this personal. I had to love me enough. I had to find a love for me that would make me love myself enough to say I have to change what I think about this.
Right.
And it brought to me, I had to ask questions. Why don't I love me?
Right.
Why do I dislike me so much?
Yeah.
Why do I dislike me with this particular thing? So why do I dislike how I look? Who told me that the way that I look is wrong? And when I receive that it was wrong, why did I agree with it and stay there? Who told me that I was funny looking, and why did I agree? See, when you're empty and you don't have that reinforcement, that positive reinforcement, that real parental guidance and the support system in place, we're susceptible to anything. So a lot of reprogramming is done during our journey from the original state of how we got here in the first place, because we wasn't born thinking we was imperfect. Right. A person is born with no arms don't know they don't have no arm, and that it's not wrong till they are first awakening and comparing themselves to everybody else. And then we don't turn around and say that, hey, you are beautiful. You don't see, but somebody got it. Somebody caught that when, because mothers have this. Mothers have this thing. I don't care how your child is, you love it.
Yeah.
If your baby is ugly, you don't tell the baby it's ugly. You're so beautiful. You will dress it and put her in a nice dress or put him in some nice clothes, because you do beautiful things to combat your feeling of them being ugly. And really, it's not that the baby is ugly, it's you have fear someone gonna call it ugly.
Wow.
It always derives from the depths of what we think. That is our true battleground with our self-esteem. So if we don't call it out and say it and accept it, we can't fix it. And not fixing it means that my heart is going to always be this way, and no matter how much I'm trying to change my actions are always going to reflect the original root and thought. So I'm changing things, I still feel the same way because I'm still thinking the same way. So I, at 39, had to start a journey of not allowing myself to see me as love. I changed my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't do love. I'm becoming love. So my actions and my heart is only a reflection of how I think about myself. So I stopped trying, because I spent 39 years trying to do love. Yet I was empty. And that's not what love does. Love doesn't render us empty. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to accumulate love on the outside for the emptiness that we feel on the inside. So I had to end that. It's not okay for me to be in a love affair and be an expert on love on everyone else. That will allow me to die. So I had self-esteem. So to not deal with, hey, they called me black. To not deal with, I was a fat kid. And to not deal with all of the laundry list of things we don't have time for that I was combating. I had to start with the most important thing is like, why do you hate you? I had to learn how to love me. That shifted the power.
So you say it starts with really the question of why you feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
The root. We have to go to the root.
So how you feel, basically. How you feel. It's a feeling first that
No.
creates. Okay.
Your feelings come from the way you believe. It's what you believe, what you see in your mind. It's what you see, what you have accepted as truth in your mind. Your heart follows. We can't operate. Our heart feels this way, and that's a divided person anyway. You can't live outside of what you think. People try to change their heart, but they realize they still feel in the same way, because the root is we have to overhaul the mind. The mind is where our mind is operating our whole life.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
The results of our life and how we conduct ourselves, our disciplines for life, our ambitions, everything that's being processed for our own life is based upon how we feel.
Wow.
So if you want to change something in your life, it starts with the thought.
With the thought.
Discipline is the action of somebody who has mastered an emotion because of a thought. You're willing. It's a line. You're willing to do a thing, sacrifice for a thing, study for a thing, because you decided that this is the right course of action.
So you have to make an active decision in your mind.
Yes.
To change your thought.
About you.
About you.
In any particular thing. Any particular thing. I had self-esteem issues from my financial capabilities. I had, of course we have people that make a lot of money, right? And unfortunately, the people that's making a lot of money aren't bad people that make you feel bad. Some of them are. Some of them are terrible. Terrible people.
Yeah.
But some people are living what they decided about them. But their life and their way is passing judgment on you because the way you think of you. So your metrics makes you feel bad. They are living theirs.
Wow.
I had to go there. I'm saying this intentionally. I had to go there. I had, in the index of their discipline to pursue what they wanted, they said, no, I can't go to the party because I got to study for my degree.
Yeah.
But if I'm suffering in my self-esteem, then, I need the party because I need to feel good because something is wrong. So you don't know how to be disciplined for something you need when you haven't decided that you're going to fix that thing. We will consume our time with having fun and doing things that make us feel good. I can only say that because I lived it.
Right.
For me, loving people felt better than dealing with me.
Woo.
So
that is like one of the most uncomfortable, honestly, places to be, but it's necessary for change as far as dealing and being honest with ourselves, about ourselves and why we feel the way we do. Like, we have to ask ourselves those hard questions and then answer them. We can ask ourselves those questions all day long, but if we don't really dig deep and try to come up with the answers to these questions, then I feel like we kind of spinning wheels.
Yes. Can we touch your example?
Absolutely, please.
Just between you and your partner, your chosen partner, and being with someone. See, I would ask the question, where does body shaming come from? What makes you feel inadequate about the way you look? And what influence a person desires and how they are attracted to people? See, I like going to the root because we are just as much influenced by the way that we feel about ourselves as those who are influenced on how we should choose. You're not a woman because you're flat-chested and you don't have a butt. No man is going to want you because there's a huge demographic of men that love flat-chested, slim women. as much as there are men that love bubblicious big mama women that they have to roll in. But I mean that. The spectrum is far.
Yeah.
So then we have to go into the roots. Like, why would I hurt somebody by telling them that truth because this is my preference? There's danger in there. So I'm good at picking what I like on the outside, but I'm not good at communicating well with my truths. It's still abuse.
Wow.
It's still abuse.
Wow.
So I've like I said, I've lived in a lot of places in me where I've confronted so many truths that I'm willing to have the conversation and nobody else wants that. I do it so calmly and I do it so frequently. It's just the way I talk when I ask questions, like what we were doing this morning. But this is how I live.
Y'all, I've known this man for a very long time. Him and just a sidebar. Him and his wife, they are my daughter's godparents. You have a way of asking questions that make people think, and almost uncomfortably. Yes. But I love that about you.
Can I tell you the truth?
Absolutely.
I wasn't successful in school because I was ashamed to ask questions.
What changed that totally around for you? Because you ask a lot of questions now.
I didn't ask questions because I thought, based upon my environment, that I was slower or not as smart as the other kids. So I was embarrassed that I needed assistance, extra assistance from my teachers. I honestly, truthfully didn't know that I actually could learn well until college.
Wow.
So I was a C average student at best. Of course, I found out later that I had some form of dyslexia, but I wasn't comfortable learning. But if you go back and look at my classes, my kids used to look at them and laugh. I distinctly made either A's and B's or D's and F's. And what we found out was, any class that I liked, I made great grades. Any class I did not like or had challenges, I completely failed it.
Yeah,
it was a lack of effort. But I thought I couldn't learn well. It was my sophomore year in college where I wasn't playing football and I just had to concentrate on my studies, and I really just want to get through that year and give my best effort. With no books, I had a B average. It was the first time that I was on a B average student in college, and I realized there is something to me. So that period of time is when I was asking the questions and waiting for an answer, and it was not embarrassing to ask the question. And I've been doing that for the rest of my life. I have no problem asking questions.
Wow.
Now, I had to grow to be prepared for some of the answers, because then I asked everything.
Yeah.
But that was me building my self-esteem. That there's something simple as, it's okay to ask. Now, my wife can tell you sometimes that can get on somebody's nerves because some people don't want that constant exchange. Yeah. But I'm always forever learning.
Yeah.
And the other thing, as you would know, is when I care about somebody, I want to know everything about them.
Yeah.
And it's a mental commitment for me that my self-esteem say, I don't want to be found lacking. Like, I need to know who they really are, the way I discovered who I am. So that's my answer to that.
Wow. So it is time. We do have to wrap it up. However, I want to leave the audience with something that they can, like a real takeaway. Something that they can start now. If they realize that they kind of have an issue, self-esteem, something that they just feel like they need to tackle, but they have no idea what the first step might be. to kind of healing from that, accepting that, and just being honest and truthful, what would you say would be the best next step for them in this process?
Well, you've already said some key components. You talked about honesty.
Yeah.
Transparency is important, but I want to throw in there, you have to find a way to love yourself to combat what's wrong. I think that's very, very important because most people don't love themselves that way.
Most is the key word.
And the problem is we'll go through life and love everything but ourselves, and then we 40 and 50 and 60 years old and we lost because we empty, because we've been consumed with so many things. Loving myself enough to address what's wrong, to address it. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. This is the first episode, so we are working out all the kinks and getting over our nervousness and the whole 9 yards, y'all. So thank you for bearing with us, sticking in here with us, and we have so much more to come. So we do want to leave you with this. You are not behind.
You are not broken.
You are becoming
Coming home.
Have a great day, y'all. Peace.